Hey FPL managers, it's Josh here from FPL Hawley. I got 95 points in game week 8, my 6th green arrow in a row, and I'm now sitting at 205k overall rank. And honestly, I am buzzing. Today, I'm breaking down my massive game week 8 haul, 3 key lessons from the weekend, midweek European chaos to monitor, and my strategy for navigating games 9 to 12. Let's dive in. So I scored 95 points in game week 8, which is my highest scoring game week so far this season. This gave me a 628k green arrow that rockets me up to 205k overall. And just to put that into perspective, I was sitting at 5.3 million after game week 2. That's a climb of over 5 million places in just 6 game weeks. Considering I've played all my chips and that game week 8 was popular for some bench boosters, plus the fact that I rolled my own transfer, that does make the score really satisfying. And if Gakpo had bought his shooting boots, I could be talking about a triple-digit score. Gakpo hit the woodwork 3 times against Manchester United, but I'm definitely not complaining. 95 points with 0 transfers is exactly the kind of result that builds momentum. Let me talk you through my heroes of the game week. So Mateta, obviously. Finally, the haul I've been holding out for. I've been banging the drum about Mateta's underlying numbers for weeks now. He's had the best expected goals data outside of Haaland all season. He just couldn't finish up until now. But he finished on Saturday. Sort of. He actually missed an absolute sitter at the death to win it for Palace, and he looked devastated when he was handed the match ball after scoring all 3 of his goals at full time. But I'm absolutely delighted I held him through the blanks, because even after Arsenal away in game week 9, Palace's fixture run turns really nicely. Now, another Palace asset, Munoz, and another attacking return for him. He got me a big 10 points. And this guy just continues to prove that we shouldn't completely abandon attacking defenders just because of DEFCON monsters. And Munoz at that price point with attacking returns for a decent defence is just brilliant value. Both Mateta and Munoz are huge differentials for me. Roughly 90% of managers around my rank don't own them, so whenever they haul, my rank is going to go up. Gakpo bagged 7 points despite those 3 shots off the woodwork. I'm really pleased I held Gakpo because I was very close to selling him a couple of weeks ago. Now Liverpool might be struggling, but Gakpo at his price point remains their best value attacking asset. And honestly, he could have easily had a double-digit haul himself if luck had gone his way. 8 returns from 11 players, I really can't complain about that. But if I was, then I can't ignore the problem children. João Pedro and Reijnders have now blanked for 3 consecutive game weeks, which is really concerning. Reijnders is in the departure lounge for me this week after being pulled at 58 minutes by Pep, and City's fixtures turn from now on. I'll get more into my planned transfers when I talk transfers later in the video. What score did you get in game week 8? Drop it in the comments. I want to know if anyone else is riding this green arrow wave. 3 key takeaways from game week 8 that might shape how I approach the next few weeks. First up, I've already spoken about him, but I'm going to talk about him again. Mateta finally got his haul. I've been saying this for weeks now, so apologies if you're sick of hearing it, but Mateta has had the best underlying numbers outside of Haaland this season. It was just a matter of time before it clicked. And to say he should have scored more is an understatement. Mateta actually registered 3.6 expected goals, which is the highest ever recorded by a single player in a match since XG started being recorded. The man was absolutely devastated when he missed that sitter at the death, and he could have had a goal earlier in the game as well. So he could have had 4, even 5. And he looked a bit sheepish and a bit shook when he was given the match ball, and he was almost a bit awkward to celebrate because he had missed that sitter. Now, that's the mentality of a striker who knows he should have had 4 or 5. Now, I'm absolutely buzzing I own him. He's less than 10% owned because even after Palace navigate Arsenal away in game week 9, as I said, Palace's fixture run turns really nice. Second up, Liverpool's struggles are getting serious. 4 consecutive defeats now. This isn't a blip anymore. This is a genuine crisis. Salah has gone from essential to avoidable. His points have finally caught up with his underlying data we were seeing at the start of the season. If you still own Salah, you need to be planning your exit strategy. I'm really glad I've held Gakpo. He's the cheapest Liverpool attacking option and the one who looks most likely to deliver. Isak looks awkward and off the pace. Vert isn't getting consistent starts. And poor Ekitike, who I think looks brilliant and is probably Liverpool's best striker, but he can't get a start ahead of big money signing Isak. Liverpool face Brentford away, Villa at home, and Man City away before the next international break. They need to find form fast, or this season could spiral. Now, third, let's whisper this, but Aston Villa have quietly transformed from the worst team in the league to one of the most informed sides. They've now strung together 5 consecutive wins in the league and Europe. Unai Emery has found that winning formula again. Watkins was benched for this match, but I wouldn't be worried. He'd picked up a knock on England duty and was just being managed. The big question now is, could Villa get another win when they host Man City in game week 9? Now that is a fascinating fixture. So we've got more midweek chaos incoming. We have another full round of European action with 9 Premier League teams all playing across the Champions League, Europa League and Europa Conference League on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. So as a reminder, that's Spurs, Man City, Liverpool, Newcastle, Chelsea and Arsenal, all featuring in the Champions League either tonight or tomorrow night, so Tuesday and Wednesday. And Forest, Villa and Palace are in the Europa League and the Europa Conference League on Thursday night. A quick sidebar on the absolute basket case that is Nottingham Forest Football Club right now. They've sacked Ange Postecoglou after just 5 Premier League games and look set to appoint Sean Dyche as their new manager. Talk about a complete tactical U-turn. So what can we expect from Forest under Dyche? Probably much the same as what we saw when they were managed by Nuno. Defensively solid, good in transition, which means the Forest assets that served us so well last season, Sells, Murillo, Milenkovic, Gibbs-White and Wood, might be back on our watch lists very soon. As always, my advice is simple. Hold your transfers until Friday at the earliest, ideally after the press conferences. I'll be doing my deadline stream this Friday at 5:30 p.m. UK time, which is 1 hour before the kickoff deadline, which is 1 hour before the game week 9 deadline. Come and join me. We'll sort through all your last minute transfer headaches and captaincy dilemmas together. Now let me run you through my updated player watch list because there are some interesting additions this week. Starting with goalkeepers. Roofs at Sunderland is my top budget option at just 4.6 million. Sunderland are averaging a clean sheet every second game. And for the premium goalkeeper slot, Raya at 5.5 million and Pope at 5.2 million remain my top picks. Defenders. Now this is where things get interesting. And again, I've added several Sunderland assets because they're playing absolutely superb football right now. Mukiele at 4 million is my top budget defender pick after his 17-point haul in game week 8. But honestly, you could have any of the Sunderland backline. They all seem to have some sort of attacking threat, which is exactly what you want from budget defenders. The big addition to my watch list is a name I've not spoken about in a very long time, but it's Reijnders James. Remember him? At 5.4 million. Now I know what you're thinking. Reijnders James and injuries are basically synonymous at this point. But the man is an exceptional footballing talent, and it's been brilliant to see him complete 4 consecutive full 90-minute matches. He looked absolutely sensational against Forest. Chelsea's fixture run over the next 4 or 5 games is really kind. If James can stay fit, and that's a massive if, he could be a brilliant Cucurella alternative at 0.7 million cheaper. I've also kept Munoz on this list at 5.6 million, but I wouldn't rush to bring him in until game week 10. As I mentioned, Palace have Arsenal away in game week 9, which is about as tough as it gets. On to midfielders. Enzo is my preferred transfer target this week to replace Reijnders at just 6.7 million. The latest quote from Maresca's Champions League press conference today about Enzo are, he said, he took part in the session yesterday. We have one more session this afternoon and we will see. We will decide tomorrow, but as I said before the Forest game, it is not something we are worried about. It was just to try and protect the player. So that all sounds like good news, but I do want to wait and see what role Enzo plays for Chelsea in their Champions League midweek game. But I absolutely love the position Enzo's been playing in Palmer's absence. He's getting forward more, he's involved in everything good Chelsea do, and at that price, he's an absolute steal. I've also got Ismaila Sarr at 6.5 million on my watch list. His underlying numbers are really strong. He's third in the league for expected goals despite missing a couple of games through injury. Now, I do expect with Mateta's haul, there'll be a pivot towards Mateta as the attacking Palace option, but I'm already tripled up on Palace and I can't see myself selling Mateta, Munoz or Richards anytime soon. Finally, onto forwards. The optimal front three right now looks like Haaland, Mateta and Voltemade. If you're on wildcard around game weeks 11 to 13, that's likely the template you'll be building toward. Mateta we've discussed. After Arsenal away, his fixtures are great and he's proven he can convert those chances. Voltemade just scored his 5th goal for an underwhelming Newcastle side at just 7.4 million. It will be interesting to see what role Voltemade plays when Visser returns to fitness. But for now, Voltemade for me is the best third striker option in the game. Now let me show you the fixture landscape for the next 4 game weeks, because this is where strategy really matters. Look at the fixture matrix on the right hand side of your screen. In game week 9, Liverpool face Brentford away, City have Aston Villa away, and Arsenal host Crystal Palace. Chelsea have the stand-up fixture at home to Sunderland, which is why I'm targeting Enzo this week. Game week 10 is where Arsenal's fixtures really shine. Saka away to Burnley looks like a good bet for captaincy. City host Bournemouth, which is another Haaland captaincy option. Game week 11 gets tricky because City and Liverpool play each other. That's the week I might pivot captaincy to an Arsenal or Chelsea asset depending on form. Arsenal have Sunderland away and Chelsea host Wolves, which looks like the fixture to target. Then game week 12 opens up with lots of differential options, which I'll get to in another video. Forest at home looks great for Liverpool, but we need to wait and see how Dyche starts at Forest. My loose transfer plan looks like this. Game week 9, I'm looking to do Reijnders to either Enzo if he looks good midweek, or Ndiaye as a safer set and forget option. Enzo feels like the higher ceiling pick and could be a nice Palmer placeholder until he's back in November. But Ndiaye on penalties is tempting as someone I could just hold until he goes to AFCON around game week 15 or 16. Game week 10, I'm likely rolling my transfer to build up to 4 free transfers going into the congested period. I don't see any urgent moves I need to make unless there's an injury crisis. And game week 11 and 12 are question marks because it depends entirely on form and fitness. Palmer could be back around then, which changes everything from Chelsea coverage perspective. What are your planned transfers for the next few game weeks? Drop your strategy in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you're approaching this period. And finally, my game week 9 setup. Let's talk through the plan. So as I mentioned already, I'm likely making just one transfer this week, which is going to be Reijnders out for either Enzo or Ndiaye. That decision will be made after I watch Chelsea play midweek in the Champions League and after Friday's press conferences. I've got 1.1 million in the bank and 3 free transfers available to make this move, which sets me up nicely for the congested fixture period ahead. Looking at my defensive setup, I'm not thrilled about having triple Palace away at Arsenal. Mateta, Munoz and Richards all face that tough fixture. But here's my thinking. Palace's fixture run from game week 10 onwards is so good that I'm not going to sell any of them. Sometimes you just have to accept one tough week to position yourself for better weeks ahead. The big question is whether I bench Munoz away to Arsenal or play Rodon for Leeds at home against a misfiring West Ham team. That's genuinely a coin toss decision that I'll probably flip-flop on about 6 times before the deadline. I'm really pleased with the rest of my squad. I'm less nervous about Gakpo as a minutes risk as he's played 90 minutes and scored in both of Liverpool's last 2 games. And honestly, I would say he is the least of Slot's headaches right now. Everyone else is a hold for the medium term. I would usually be looking to move João Pedro on in the form he's in, but I can't ignore Chelsea's upcoming fixtures and the fact that Liam Delap might be back soon, which would allow João Pedro to play in his more natural number 10 position. Captaincy is my big headache this week. The sensible move is probably a Chelsea asset with that home fixture against Sunderland, but can I really bring myself to captain Enzo or João Pedro over Haaland? The man is absolutely inevitable right now. Even away to Villa, who are in great form, I'm finding it really hard to look past Haaland. I'll probably stick with Haaland and trust that he finds a way to score. I actually just checked my phone before recording this video to see, and Haaland's actually already scored again against Villarreal in the Champions League after 20 minutes or so. That man is absolutely unstoppable right now. What transfers are you making this week, and who are you going to put the captain armband on? Let me know in the comments below. So there we have it. Game Week 8 reviewed with that massive 95-point haul. Midweek European fixtures to monitor, and my strategy for game weeks 9 to 12 is taking shape nicely. My approach is simple: make the Reijnders move this week, bank my transfers where possible, and stay patient through this congested fixture period. If you found this video helpful, make sure you're subscribed to FPL Hawley because I make videos like this every single week. Clear strategy, no panic, just smart FPL made simple. If you need help with your Game Week 9 transfer decisions, make sure to join my deadline stream on Friday at 5:30 PM UK time. That's 1 hour before the Game Week 9 deadline. I'll see you there, and best of luck in Game Week 9.